This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 17th day of September in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. Prominent attorney at law Nigel Hughes has resigned as the leader of the Alliance for Change, citing the party's dismal performance at the September 1 elections under his leadership. In the resignation letter to the AFC General Secretary, Mr. Hughes said he was taking full responsibility for the party's poor performance and believes it is now time for new leadership. The Alliance for Change picked up just 3,610 votes at the elections, making it the party's worst performance at national elections since its formation 20 years ago, and leaving it locked out of the National Assembly. Mr. Hughes, in his resignation letter, said the results were beyond disappointing, and he believes the responsibility for the bad results rests solely on his shoulder. He told the General Secretary in the resignation letter that he still believes that the party has a great role to play in the development of the country, and he offers best wishes to the chairman and the executive of the party as he pledged his continuous support. In response to the resignation by Hughes, the National Executive Committee of the Alliance for Change today said it will be meeting in an emergency session to discuss the ramifications and consequences of the resignation letter from the leader of the party. The party's executive wants him to retract the resignation, but said that should he remain adamant in his decision, then the party's constitutional provisions will be used to guide the way forward. This is not the first time that Hughes has resigned from a leadership position in the Alliance for Change. Back in 2013, he resigned as chairman of the party over revelations that he once served as the company secretary for the Amila Hydro Incorporated, which at the time was snared in controversy surrounding the Amila Falls hydropower project and ongoing questions and concerns from the then political opposition, which included the AFC. In the lead-up to this year's elections, the Alliance for Change, which stepped away from its coalition partner, the APNU, after the 2020 elections, made efforts to rekindle that partnership, but those efforts fell through without a deal, leaving the two parties to head into the elections on their own. Both parties saw dismal performances at the elections. The last time the two sides entered elections separately was back in 2011, when the APNU won 26 seats and the AFC won 7. Together, the two sides controlled the majority in the parliament and went on to form a winning coalition for the 2015 elections, taking the reins of government. However, that government fell to a no-confidence vote, which was supported by an AFC member of parliament. The two sides still went ahead as a coalition for the 2020 elections under a new coalition pact, but lost those elections, which were dogged by allegations of fraud. The attempt to rekindle the partnership this year failed months before the elections. On election day, after casting his vote, Mr. Hughes admitted to news source that this year's elections were tough for his party, as it faced many challenges while doing it alone. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Courts presents the Home Event 2025, happening now at Court stores nationwide. It's the perfect time to refresh your home. Come explore new arrivals, bestsellers, and deals you can't resist. Discover the widest range of stylish furniture, cutting-edge TVs, audio systems, and appliances that are smart and energy efficient, all backed by the Court's low price guarantee. Our experts will help you choose what you need for your home. Shop with Court's Ready Finance and get more. Don't miss the Court Home Event 2025. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. The new Minister of Home Affairs, Nigel Waldron, said that while serious crimes in the country are on the decline, she is concerned about the level of prosecution of criminal cases. Speaking to reporters at the construction site for a new breakdown police station, Minister Waldron, who's a former magistrate, said she has made her concerns known in meetings with the police and the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit. The Home Affairs Minister explained that while there are reports of drug busts and the seizure of illegal guns and ammunition and illegal drugs, the level of prosecution remains a concern.
My concern as a former magistrate is how many of these have been prosecuted, what is the follow through? Because people are not going to, the criminals are not going to respond if it is that you're not, people are not going to respond if you're not seeing the full enforcement. And so my question has been, and my query has been, how many of this has been prosecuted? Where are we in the process of prosecuting?
However, while the level of prosecution remains a concern, Waldron reported that serious crimes are on the decline. Alluding to the tourism industry, Minister Waldron said during her stint as tourism minister, she was often pressed with questions about Guyana's crime rate due to a number of misconceptions. However, she said the reality is serious crimes have been reduced by 26%.
And every single one of our events where we've seen record-breaking arrivals, there's been no incident of serious crimes. No robbery, no armed robberies on the roads, and so that is also, while it's anecdotal, we have the statistics to show that serious crime, those kinds of crimes, are on the decline.
The Home Affairs Minister admitted that domestic violence remains a serious issue. The administration, she assured, will tackle that issue. And turning her attention to traffic management, Minister Waldron said better management of the country's roadways is badly needed. Added to that, she said there appears to be lapses in enforcement. It was pointed out that hours after her meeting with the Commissioner of Police on Monday, approximately 1,000 traffic charges were instituted. It was noted that while e-tickets were issued, there were no follow-ups or charges laid, and she wants that corrected.
It's going to be a phased approach in terms of prosecuting those charges, making sure that there is enforceability so people understand in terms of the traffic that infractions are going to be followed up on. So,
the Home Affairs Minister said she will be building on the Smart Country program by leveraging technology to combat crime. And she also said she wants to build a high-level, world-class police force, where cutting-edge technology would be used to keep communities safe and to combat crime. Well, Exxon Guyana, which recently moved into its new headquarters at Ogle, has announced that the company and its contractors have spent over $2.9 billion with Guyanese businesses since operations began in 2015. With $419 million being spent in the first half of this year alone, directly with some 1,800 local vendors. In a statement today, ExxonMobil said the figures reinforce the company's dedication to local content development through significant investments in local businesses, workforce training, and community development initiatives. The company said as of May 2025, more than 6,200 Guyanese are employed by ExxonMobil Guyana and its contractors, making up 70% of the workforce. The company also boasted that 1 in 3 employees are Guyanese women, and 1,800 Guyanese are currently working offshore. In the statement, the company said it is proud of the progress it's been making in building local content and local talent, saying that seeing more Guyanese take on key roles in the oil and gas sector is a clear sign that the company is committed to capacity building, and that commitment is working. According to Exxon Mobil Guyana, Guyana's oil and gas employees have benefited from receiving over 370,000 hours of leadership, technical, and professional health and safety and security training. The company said its internship program is also yielding results. Of the inaugural class, 5 interns have already been hired by the company. The 2025 internship program is currently on the way, continuing to provide valuable career opportunities for young Guyanese professionals. Additionally, the company said this year also marked a significant milestone with the start of the in-country fabrication services at the Vreeden Hoop Shore Base Incorporated, including the fabrication of quad joints and pipeline end terminations, a major step in supporting the development of local industrial capabilities. Further, the company announced that in collaboration with the Stabroek Block co-venturers and the government of Guyana, it will be supporting the Guyana Technical Training College, which is preparing to welcome the first cohort of students to be fully trained locally starting in October of this year. Guyanese at home and abroad seeking new passports will soon be able to begin the process from the comfort of their own home as the government moves ahead with an online application plan for the Guyana passport. President Irfan Ali told reporters on Tuesday that the application portal is currently being tested and is expected to go live by the end of this year.
This system would eliminate the lines that you see at the passport office. We'll have a decentralized system where appointments are booked online and you will go to the nearest service center to you. And on that topic also, we are now creating service centers in every region to have an integrated office where citizens can go and have any government services dealt with at that office, so they don't have to come to the capital.
The president also stated that a recently launched border control and e-gate system along with the e-passport system has been moving apace.
We have to be compliant with international standard from a security perspective, from a technology perspective, so that our documents are secured. And you've seen that we have been gaining places globally in terms of our passport recognition. And all of this have to do also with the safety mechanism and system that support our border control, our e-gate system.
He noted that the system also serves to identify threats and to proactively provide information to address those threats. Both the border control and e-passport systems were activated earlier this year. It was noted that the new border system has resulted in improved security at the airports and border crossings and has also assisted to accurately verify travelers.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say wash it soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash it soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash it soap powder, leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to wash it soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash your soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash your soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash your soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
The Linden Town Council has called out Prime Minister Mark Phillips over his claim that the Town Council is responsible for the present state of the Mackenzie-Wismer Bridge, owing to poor maintenance. The Prime Minister's statements came following Sunday's collapse of a section of the pedestrian walkway of the bridge. A female motorcyclist and her child were left dangling from the bridge along with her bike. They were both rescued, with the mother sustaining injuries. In a statement today, the mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, reminded that the town council has never had the responsibility of maintaining the bridge, and that responsibility has always been the Linden Mining Company, which falls under the government's holding company, NISIL. The council noted that even with the revenue sharing arrangement, minor repairs were consistently carried out by Linden, while major repair works were funded through the Ministry of Works through the annual budget allocations. The Town Council of Linden emphasized that it has never held responsibility for the operation or maintenance of the bridge, adding that all decisions regarding toll levels, including increases or removals, were made solely by the government. The council said the Prime Minister needs to set the record straight and acknowledge that the responsibility for the bridge's maintenance has always laid with the relevant government agencies and not the council. The council also said it has also noted with concern that the government has not been remitting its portion of the profit share to the council as agreed, which has adversely affected the council's capacity to perform its civic duties effectively in the town of Linden. The Linden Town Council also said the Prime Minister should verify facts before making public statements that may impact the reputation and operational capacity of the Linden Town Council. Let's tell you now that the government's digitization plans for the public health sector is being tested, with an online appointment system going through the early stages of testing at the Festival City Polyclinic here in Georgetown. At a press conference yesterday, President Irfan Ali said the system, when fully completed, will be rolled out nationally at all public hospitals and clinics, allowing patients to easily set their own appointments rather than to find themselves in lines at those medical institutions.
We don't want the lines that you see in the hospitals and clinics. So we want to move the system into an app-based system where you have appointments, so you don't have to waste your time or sit at these clinics for hours. So this pilot is being tested at Festival City Polyclinic, and we are anticipating that it will be fully implemented at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation within the first quarter of 2026, and then in all other regional hospitals and clinics across the country.
The president said the second phase of the program will see the 6 new regional hospitals being connected to the system by mid-2026. Additionally, the implementation of the One Health project is moving ahead. The $22 million Guyana One Health project was launched earlier this year and focuses on empowering the country to prevent, prepare for, and respond to health emergencies. The project is being funded through the World Bank. On the implementation of the electronic electronic patient health records system, the president said the initial phase of the project involved the digitization of the records of all patients at the Georgetown Hospital.
Work commenced in March of 2025 and is expected to conclude by mid-2026. Patients' records at the Georgetown Hospital are expected to go live by the end of the fourth quarter in 2026, and then this will be rolled out across the country.
President Ali said his new government will be paying added attention to the modernization of the local health sector and will also be investing heavily in that area. He announced that as part of the plans, a school's health program will be unveiled to cater for children in nursery, primary, and secondary schools across the country. Former Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and former Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Elizabeth Harper, who passed away on Saturday, has been described as a tower of Guyana's foreign policy and diplomacy, as tributes poured in for the late diplomat at a night of reflection hosted at the Arthur Chung Conference Center last evening. First to pay tribute was former President Donald Ramotar. In 2015, Mrs. Harper was his running mate at the elections that year. Mr. Ramotar said his relationship with Ambassador Harper started in 1992, but grew stronger from 2011 while he served as president. He recalled that she led many of his overseas delegations and also negotiated major deals on behalf of the government. Mr. Ramotar also recalled her as being a person fun to work with and someone who would often make light in the room.
I will dearly miss her because even though I've been out of government for 10 years already, she was still a great help to me in everything that I asked her in relation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. If I was traveling, she was the one who made arrangements for me in different parts of the world. If I had visa issue, she helped me with all of those things. So personally, I will miss her very, very much. And therefore I know how much the family and those who work closely with her will miss her.
Mr. Ramotar recalled Ambassador Harper as being someone who was fun to work with. He said she would lighten up the room during tense situations. Mrs. Harper was remembered for her long and tireless service to public and foreign service. She joined the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1976 as a clerk in the registry and later moved to the Officer 1 in the Administrative Division, then Foreign Service Officer 2 in the Protocol Division, and her career kept climbing. Foreign Minister Hughes remembered her as someone who was able to carefully navigate complex issues that arose in the Foreign Ministry.
And she has been able to journey with us as a country when interstate relations dominate international relations. So a phase in our history where we are now in a multipolar world where not only nation states dominate. So she understands clearly that there are other actors outside of the state that can influence policy making at the state level, at the regional level, and at the global level.
Former Foreign Minister Carl Greenidge, who also worked along with Ambassador Harper, remembered her as someone who was full of compassion for her work.
Liz undertook that task and did a very good job on it. In her work, it was evident, if it hadn't been evident, and I hadn't known her well enough to know that she was not only a very assiduous person, but someone who could empathize very, very easily and deeply with others. And in the case of the team, Srishidat Ramphal, who was located in Barbados and already approaching his 90s, I think was especially privileged and pleased to work with Liz. She was assigned a task, not given a task specifically of rendering any sort of assistance, but she recognized the need and bonded with Srishidat in a way that was quite remarkable in a very short space of time.
And Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, remembered Ambassador Harper for her deep knowledge and unwavering commitment in advancing the goals of the community.
She was very quiet most of the times, but she was firm. Whenever she knew she had to say what needed to be said, we listened to her, we learned from her. We knew that she was deeply knowledgeable. She was committed to her country.
Prime Minister Mark Phillips said the country is poor with the death of Ambassador Elizabeth Harper, who dedicated her life to service. She will be laid to rest on Friday.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream Promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes, plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude or Viva. Find the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Trinidad's President Christine Kangaloo will have to select the country's next Chief Justice at some point over the next 12 months. This comes as Chief Justice Ivor Archie announced his plans to retire while delivering his annual address at the opening of the 2025-2026 law term on Tuesday. The announcement by Archie, who is the country's longest-serving Chief Justice after more than 17 years at the helm of the judiciary, was not a surprise for some, as there were reports about his decision in the lead-up to his address. While Archie did not reveal the exact date that he would demit office, he noted that he would not be around when the occasion is celebrated once again next year. He said he chose the occasion to publicly announce his decision so he can assist in ensuring the smooth transition of his eventual successor once he or she is selected. Under Section 102 of the Constitution, the Chief Justice is selected by the President after consultations with the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. On paper, former President Jair Bolsonaro has been sentenced to prison until the age of 97, according to Reuters. In fact, legal experts say the ex-president is unlikely to spend more than a fraction of his 27-year sentence behind bars, after the Brazilian Supreme Court found him guilty of plotting a coup to overturn the 2022 election he lost. First, Brazilian convicts often serve just a sixth of their sentence under full custody before entering a day release program. More importantly, the far-right firebrand's allies have laid out plans to spring him in short order, working the levers of power in all three branches of government. His political avenues to freedom include legislative amnesty, a presidential pardon after the 2026 election, or efforts to reshape the Supreme Court through new appointments and the impeachment of sitting justices. And finally tonight, international news. The Russian government is considering raising the rate of value-added tax to keep the budget deficit in check and maintain reserves, four sources told Reuters, despite public assurances from President Vladimir Putin that there will be no tax increase. The draft budget is expected to be submitted to Parliament on September 29. Its key components are agreed with Putin beforehand and are unlikely to be significantly altered during the formal parliamentary debate. Russia, in the fourth year of its war in Ukraine, has raised personal income and corporate taxes this year, but the government still had to triple its federal budget deficit estimate to 1.7% of gross domestic product in May. It is now set to exceed that target, according to an unnamed official quoted by state media this month. The 0.9% GDP deficit for 2026 included a budget law last year also looks likely to be exceeded. Four sources close to the government confirmed a report this week by The Bell, a media outlet based outside Russia, that the government is discussing lifting the value-added tax VAT rate to 22% from 20% to curb the deficit. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.